Hi, welcome back. Today I want to take a look at this video by Pew Die Pie of his Linux setup. It looks like that he's gone full Linux. I did see the previous video and he got a small snippet of Linux Mint that he did, but I was kind of wondering when I watched his last video what he was doing, because he put a Radeon card in his system, so he went all AMD. But let's take a look and see what is going on. By the way, this is me testing a live streaming setup that I want to get set up and possibly continue with. Okay.
Oh,
VHS tape tracking.
You disgusting little thing. Oh, what happened to you? Oh, look at yourself.
Okay.
You're this blob from I have no mouth but I must scream. Oh, who did this to you? Was it Windows? Oh, Mac OS? Oh, don't worry. I can save you. Install Linux.
You know, I do want to say, my wife's Mac, she has an M1 Mac. The last update that did on the OS update, it got slower. So, you know, there's that for Mac.
What if I told you you can look like this? Anyway, let me start this off by saying I am not a tech guy. You saw my PC building video.
Looks all bent.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised the whole thing hasn't exploded. It's like sitting next to a bomb every day. But what you did see was 0.5 seconds of the video where I installed Linux on the thing, and a lot of people just went, what?
That's what I saw.
Some people seemed surprised and confused.
Something possessed him to put Linux on it.
Some people were excited. At the time, I didn't know the power that I had. I was like a baby with a rocket launcher. For years, I have been tortured by Windows. But now, alas, I am finally free.
Oh my
I
gosh.
escaped the Windows cave. I saw the sun. The shadows are gone. It blinded me for a moment. And now I'm speaking to you in the cave. Enough reference. Okay, so I'm gonna yap about Linux for as long as this video
Premiere
is,
Pro.
You're gonna listen. I want to start off by going
Pretty sure he doesn't actually edit his own videos. I'm pretty sure he pays someone for that.
through the reasons why I switched to Linux. It's different for everybody. Number one is how backlit this shot is. Number one, Windows talks to me like I'm a baby. Now, mentally, I might be, but that does not warrant. You want Candy Crush? You want Candy Crush on your computer?
Candy Crush.
You want your
Okay, Candy Crush is still on my Windows 10 install.
Bing? Yes. Are you sure you want to delete that file? Are you super duper sure you want to delete the file? That's how it talks to me, and I don't like it.
Okay,
Linux,
Windows
on the
is
other
pretty
hand,
bad, but
literally puts a
I don't
gun
know
in
if
your
it's
hand
that
and says,
bad.
My first sort of aha moment when I installed Linux or started using it was, wait a minute, it does exactly what I want it to do. And there's just a really powerful feeling about that. I do want to show you guys my setup as well. I will get into that. But first, reason number two, as an
Yes, Linux does everything you want it to do, even when you do dumb things and break it. That's usually what happens to my Arch installs. It's usually my own fault, not Arch.
epic minimalist, the bloat is real. It always bothered me. Anytime I install a new Windows, I spent like an hour trying to uninstall all the pre-packaged BS that I don't want. Windows is like, I know you paid $100 or whatever for me, but I'm still gonna put ads in here. Yes, put a little AI in here. You want that, right? That doesn't benefit me. It's for you, the consumer. Bing! It doesn't benefit me that you use Bing, but please use Bing. Microsoft is an annoying suite, apparently. With Linux, nothing. Serenity. Peace. Don't even get me started on the Windows taskbar. You control what's on your computer. Duh, it's obvious. How is this not a thing? Reason number three, customization. I discovered this afterwards. Customizing on Linux is a beautiful thing. On Windows, you can maybe change your wallpaper, change a little bit of colors, whoopity-doo. On Linux, you
Yeah,
can
not
change
much.
reality itself. Since Linux is built modular, you can swap out your GUI entirely. You don't even have to use one. You can cut off the head of Linux and it'll still be like, hey, I'm here, what's up? Customizing on Linux is called Ryzen, and I got way too into it. I cooked hard. I can't wait to show you guys. Now, reason number 4, gaming.
Okay, the Ryzen thing. I've recently gotten back into it. I took Hyprland off of my desktop, but I recently reinstalled Arch on my Dell XPS, and I'm currently doing a Hyprland setup on it. I do have KDE Plasma on there just as a backup, but once I get the Hyprland the way I want, I'll remove KDE Plasma or just do a fresh install and actually install everything, because I'm keeping a list of packages that are needed.
Gaming on Linux is finally real. I actually installed Linux 15 years ago. That's right, I'm old. And I uninstalled it after like a couple days, as a lot of people do, when they realize, oh, I can't use the things I need on Linux. And for me, that was gaming back then, because it's like, well, then what's the point? But now, gaming on Linux is real at last. So Valve came in like Gandalf in Helm's Deep, riding a Steam Deck with Proton. So I think this is a perfect example how Linux benefits everyone. The fact that Valve as a company recognized maybe Microsoft has a bit too much power. If they wanted to and started being shady, locking things down, taking cuts, they absolutely could. And it's not like it would be uncharacteristics for them to do. So Valve started improving gaming on Linux, boosted driver support, and they built on what was already there from open source software like Wine. By doing this, Valve benefits, consumer benefits, ecosystem grows, win, win, win. It really feels like an alternate reality. This totally could not have been a thing. And it also makes me realize just how many things can be better if people just weren't so greedy. Can we just fix them? So thank you, Linux, and thank you, Base Gaben. Now I've gone through the reasons why I switched.
Yeah, Microsoft is never going to fix Windows. They're making it worse with the AI and the recall.
Switch to Linux. Let me just explain why maybe not switching is a good idea. Because everything good comes with a sacrifice. If you're swapping to Linux, you'll likely have to give something up. I don't know what that is, but for me, it was Photoshop. I used Photoshop again for 15 years. All the shortcuts,
He's
all my
going to
workflow,
talk
it's all
about
baked
Gimp,
into my
I'm
brain.
sure.
The way I use Photoshop, I don't think about it. It's just, here's the thumbnail.
I have
Look at
not
there.
seen it past
It's
this
not
point.
beautiful, but I get the job done. Unfortunately, Adobe is a garbage company and their software just won't run on Linux. A lot of artists are jumping ship. They don't want to use Adobe anymore because they realize it's a terrible company. Me as well, I thought, you know what?
Yep.
It's time. I'll swap over. I know the open source alternative is Gimp. I've heard about this forever. And I thought, you know, it'll feel good. I'll feel good leaving Adobe. So I'm ready. I go to their website. I click through the 1,000 pages. I crawl through the bushes just to find the goddamn unsubscribe button. And I was so ready. I was gonna be like, you Adobe, just unsubscribe. You know what happens? You know what happens? They
fee.
hit me with an unsubscription fee. Yes. Those.
Yeah, when I canceled my Adobe subscription, I think I had to pay $80, almost $90 to cancel it. So I'll never use that again. Kind of iffy about DaVinci Resolve because it looks like after version 20, they may start charging upgrade fees. But I might talk about that in a different video.
I'm sorry, what? I have to pay to not use your software?
Yep.
It was like $65 or something. It's insane. What the f? If anything, it just made me realize, okay, it's over. I'm never going back. So like I said, the open source alternative is Gimp. Gimp! And since this is Linux, open source, you can do whatever you want. I downloaded this icon pack that changed the icons so they look like the Photoshop icons. That helped a little bit. Then I downloaded a shortcut command list that matches the one on Photoshop. Boom, made it a little easier. You know, I'm still not 100% used to it, but the fact that, yeah, I can do stuff like this really helps. For me,
The Photo Gimp project will actually do all of that for you. If you want to, I'll leave a link in the description for that for anybody that's interested.
me personally, a worthy sacrifice. I hope this doesn't sound like copium, but genuinely, it feels good that I was able to move on. At the end of the day, some tools are only gonna work on Windows and only gonna work on Mac, but what you gain on Linux is so much more. Freedom. Join us. I'm just praying that Adobe is not just gonna show up one day and be like, there's another fee. I'll meet them in a dark alleyway. They'll be like, it's a little fee. Now that I've convinced you to swap to Linux, you have the wonderful choice of picking a distro. Yay, so many of them. I hear people going like, I don't know which one to pick. What do I
Just
do?
use
There's
Linux
so many.
Mint
Just pick
or
one. It's a wonderful thing
Arch
that you can
if you
choose.
really
Don't you
want
understand?
to
The world is your flavor.
have a
Look at all
headache.
these spices. I went with Mint because it's the same one that I installed 15 years ago, and I knew that it was a beginner.
But if you choose Linux Mint and you're running a latest and greatest AMD GPU, you'll have to figure out how to update the kernel and update the firmware and update the Mesa drivers all to much newer. So I have not tried that on Linux Mint.
Friendly, and that it still holds up. It very much feels like Windows, just better, okay? You don't even need to touch the scary terminal if you
So
don't
is
want to. You don't
KDE
have to.
2 point.
It's okay. You should though. Now, let's jump into my computer really quick. Oh, look at that. I'm recording with OBS. Open source.
13% CPU usage. He must be using the CPU.
It's always the best source. Couldn't get Bandicam. They didn't have a
Bandicamp.
Bandicam.
That's
I get
stupid
paid for that.
software that he used to
There's like
use.
free versions everywhere. That's so much better. Okay. All right. So this is the terminal. You probably heard about it in Linux. Feels a
I think
bit
I
strange
just
at the
saw
beginning. Let me just show you
9070
how it
on there.
works.
Okay, hold on. I want to go back. RX 9070 XT. So he has RDNA 4. Doesn't say the kernel version or the Mesa version. He must have installed a PPA and updated it pretty hard because that's a very custom terminal there.
No, you probably heard about it in Linux. Feels a bit strange at the beginning. Let me just show you how it works. But first, wait. Oh, yes, today's sponsor.
Sponsor gfuel.sh.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Wrong! G Fuel! Wow, look at ASCII art.
The most
Everyone, I
Linux
love it.
thing he could do
Beautiful
is
PewDiePie tub.
sponsor
Right now, you get
spot
a
in the
free
terminal.
PewDiePie shaker cup, which is an amazing deal. If you order $50 or more, highly recommend. It's a great deal. This is probably the best deal you're ever gonna get with G Fuel. Please take advantage. I genuinely mean that. You get the booty shaker free and 33% off all PewDiePie products if you use the code PewDiePie. This is your final chance. Only get this deal for 7 days, so take the chance now.
I'd like to see how
Don't wait,
complex
please.
that
Brofist.
bash script
Go to
is.
gfuel.com/PewDiePie. Enter code PewDiePie, 33% off. Thank you, GFuel,
Okay.
for sponsoring. Which I
I'm gonna
called
go.
Dionysus because I wanted to mess around with it. I called it
me go
Apollo, and then
back.
I had my laptop, which I called Dionysus.
Okay.
gfuel.com/PewDiePie. Enter code PewDiePie, 33% off. Thank you, GFuel, for sponsoring.
Should have
this
just
video.
left it.
Okay, so this is my desktop. I called it Apollo, and then I had my laptop, which I called Dionysus because I wanted to mess around with it. Dionysus. is the
Wow,
one I
that
really,
was
really went
not
hard on
the.
Ryzen. But I just wanted to show some terminal commands really quick.
That's a
just to get an idea how it works.
That
I
is
talked about
not
this
the
in my last
default
video,
Linux
but
Mint
the first thing that
desktop.
really blew my mind
Looks
with,
like he's running a
Linux,
window
I just noticed
manager,
my computer was booting
tiling
kinda
window
slowly.
manager, maybe.
So I found this command called system deanalyze, and it tells you exactly
Does
how
not
long
say,
it takes
though,
for
in
your
his
computer to actually load,
NeoFetch.
and what part takes a certain amount of time. And it used to be like 45
System
seconds. I was like,
deanalyze.
"Dude, this is
I'm gonna have to
terrible."
check
So
that
then I
out.
found another command called
Did not know
blame,
about
and then you
that.
can see exactly what part is kind of slowing down your system,
Hmm.
which got me into like really optimizing it, and I had so much fun doing that. And it just made me realize just
The most I've messed with systemd is enabling and disabling services. So he's already showing something I didn't know about.
Like on Windows, if my computer is kind of slow, you just kind of deal with it. It's like, oh, okay, well, what can you do? On Linux, it's like, the world is your oyster. You can fix it. Personally, I like that kind of stuff. The second thing that blew my mind with the Linux terminal
and you
was,
will have to
just
fix
how
it
fast
yourself.
It is at searching. Searching on Windows is so annoying. It takes forever. Sometimes it doesn't even find the file, even though you
searches
type the name
the
of it
internet
perfectly. And a lot of times they just bing it. They're like, "Oh, you want to search for your file? Oh, maybe no. Actually, you want to look it online. That's what you want to do." It's like, no. Linux, you can find any file, whatever you want. This is searching all JPEGs on my computer. That's a bad example, actually. The other thing that I love about it is that you don't have to just search the file. You can also search text inside the file. So let's say you forgot what the file is called, but you remember roughly some stuff inside it. You can grep it, and bada bing, bada boom. What the hell is this? Spotify password text. Balls deep. I did not do that.
Really? He made a
Searching
text
files
file
on Linux
just...
is super fast. I mean,
You know, that's
just
fake.
how it should be on a computer again. The most obvious thing with the terminal is that, let's say you install the operating system and you need to also put all the programs that you want to use on it. Usually you have to go on the browser, Google it, look up their page, go to their download page, dodge all the fake ads and all that crap, and do that and install and run each one, wait for it to install.
Can I just say, when listening to this video through my PC speakers, I did not hear all this music that's going in the background. So,
yada yada, it takes forever. On Linux, you just go sudo apt install, what do we want? We want VLC, Firefox, OBS Studio, boom, thank you. And now I can sit and look at the screen and feel like I'm a
Debian-based
hacker. Yes, I know what all of this means. Every single letter I'm soaking in with my brain. There's so much you can do with the terminal. It's insanely powerful. I can make a whole video about it, but I don't want to keep this too long-winded. And in reality, I just want to show you my Ryzen on my laptop, to be honest. That's the whole reason I'm making this video. I had this old laptop. I mean, it's not that old, but I just never used it because I didn't really like using it. I mentioned before there's many distros of Linux, and I wanted to try one called Arch, partially because of the meme. It's kind of become a meme because it's a little difficult to install Arch, so it's like a flex to use it. For some reason, I went on a god run and I had no issue. I always get stuck on the dumbest ever for like 12 hours. I don't know what happened that time. But I also wanted to download Arch because it's a minimalist distro. Whatever you put, or at least 90% of it, is there because you decided to put it there. And it's also very highly customizable, which are two.
That's the main reason I use Arch, is so it installs only what I want. You know, because other distributions, you know, it'll install Intel Arc drivers that I don't even have an Intel card.
Elements that I love, so I knew I was gonna love it. All right, let's go into my laptop. I think it makes sense for me to show it without any customization first, because it just be confusing and I need to talk to people that haven't used Linux. My first favorite thing, which I have on Mint as well, is just shortcuts on my keyboard to open programs. Open terminal, open file manager.
That looks like
browser,
Hyprland.
close it.
It may
whatever.
not be,
It's
though.
all there. It's such a nice workflow and have a more keyboard-centric way of using your computer, especially on a laptop. But even in general, you know, the whole like, okay, let me click on the start menu and just find the thing. If I don't have it keybind, I can open Rofi. And just search for it and open it.
I'm trying to figure out how to configure that
as well,
thing.
but yeah, this is my terminal on this setup. I'm using Alacrity, and this is.
Yeah, Rofi is something I'm trying to figure out. I do have Wofi installed on my Hyprland on my laptop, but I did install Rofi, and I set that in my Hyprland config. But it's the ugly default Rofi, so I downloaded a preset config that people did, and I'm just looking at that to figure out how I want to configure mine. Because I do want my Hyprland to look really freaking good, but also clean at the same time. Because I want it to use very little memory. His laptop is, it's an AMD CPU with a Vega built-in graphics. and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 mobile. Okay.
This is NeoFetch, which shows my specs.
So I'm sure he's had issues slightly with the NVIDIA card.
And usually people have an ASCII art. It sounds like I'm saying ASCII. ASCII, I'll call it ASCII, of their distro. And if you saw my Mint one earlier, I was like, oh, it wouldn't be cool if I do like my own custom ASCII. And then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I do my own animated ASCII? So I figured out how to do that. It took a little bit of tinkering and schminkering, but it's just so nice to look at. I love it. So I'm running Hyprland, which is this beautiful tile manager. It automatically sorts it for me whenever I open something. This is such a nice workflow, and I can close it all as well.
It allows you to go way overboard to where it's pointless.
When you're on a laptop, when you have limited screen space, it's such a great way to work with it. The fact that they're always there means I never have to look for them because I know they're there. And if my workspace is full, I can look at this, swap to another one. This is workspace number 2. And workspace number 4. I've been recording
Windows and Mac
OBS
does
from
that
here.
too, but
let's say
not
I'm working on a
as
project on workspace 1. I can then
not
work
as
on another
easy
thing
and
on workspace
slick
2
as
and
Linux
go back and
can
forth
do
vice
it.
versa instantly. I love this way of using a computer. It's so sick. The first thing I really loved about this Arch Hyprland setup was just how quick and smooth it looks, at least. You know, like boom, oh, open. It's so nice. But then I open my browser and it's like, oh, you see that? Ew. Again. Oh, that took forever. And it loads so ugly. So my first thought, okay, well, maybe I can upgrade my SSD to make it snappier and quicker. But then I thought, I'm on Linux. I can do whatever I want. So let's run a time here. Firefox. Let's ignore the CSS errors. I tinkered a bit too much. Don't worry about it. What was that? 2 seconds? Not good enough. So I figured out a way, and it's so dumb. I won't explain how I did it. But the fact that I was able to do it, boom. Instant.
He needs to explain how he did it.
Boom! I love it. I love it so much. It's these small things that makes you really fall in love with using Linux. Anyway, the first thing I customized was Waybar. Oh, I forgot to say I can move around as well if I want to. Anyway, and move them to a different workspace. So yeah, this is my taskbar. It's like the Windows taskbar, except you decide exactly what's on it.
I'm still trying to work out customizing my Waybar. Right now it's still the default config. So I do want to customize it. Probably not to this extent though. That's a lot of work that he put in.
On it and customizing it. I put calendar, turn it on and off, internet, Bluetooth, quick access to all these things, you know. I really enjoy this as well. It's basically just tells me if I'm connected to NordVPN or not, and I can toggle by clicking on it, and it tells me which country I'm connected to. Up here it shows which workspace I'm using. Since I have these reactor in the background, I thought it'd be cool to like LARP as if each workspace was each reactor. I'm on reactor A, there's reactor B, C, and D where it's recording OBS. Then I have my battery bar, which is ASCII. I keep saying ASCII, which is ASCII art.
ASCII is correct.
I got the volume. And you know, look, if my volume goes too low, it gets red, it's critical. Just to really LARP the whole nuclear reactor UI. To me, it's cool. I like it. All right, the second thing I did was making widgets with ew. Ew was a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ew is a pain in the butt. I don't even know if I'll bother with that thing.
Let me also change the wallpaper really quick. One second. All right, so this is my desktop. Let me play some music.
It is nice looking.
So first I added this visualizer because I just saw a lot of people doing it. It's using Kava, but I changed it again with ASCII. So it looks a little more matrix and hackery. Here we have my uptime. Just how long it's been running and how much until
reactor
my battery's
uptime,
out. I should probably
meltdown clock.
CPU temp, I should probably change, cool it down a bit.
Yes,
all
temps
of
are
this
hot.
It changes. It's not just like visual flare. Well, it is, but CPU load, which changes, RAM usage, storage. This tells me which workspace I'm on. So right now I'm on reactor B. Power consumption, completely useless, but I needed it to look cool. And then we have my 2 fans for CPU.
I see he's got his native language on there. So stuff I can't read.
CPU and GPU, and then this little spinny fan thing to show it. Upload and download, latency, and then just another VPN thing. It's kind of pointless. And then basic weather. And then finally, to make it sort of all work together, I added a script that basically scans if I'm using a window.
Waybar watcher.
So if I open or close, it sort of transitions in and out of Waybar because I don't need
That's
it on both.
nice.
That's just like too much information in my opinion. So this is on my desktop. It's just a nice vibe here. We just chill over here, and then when I'm in workflow, it blackens it all out.
Yep.
And I can just get going
That's
on my
nice.
swingy thingy. Oh, and in the middle here, my I forgot to say it has power profiles, my laptop, so I thought it'd be cool to change them. It's silenced, balanced, or power mode, but I changed it to Razgon, which means overclock. You see my fans are spinning, and these are faster as well because the fans are spinning more. This
But
is
the
so
temps
sick to
are
me
cooler,
because I'm
though.
remembering what this laptop used to be running Windows. I never wanted to use it. I hated it. Now it went from a hardware that I never used to my favorite piece of hardware because it not just looks great, it runs great. I love it. It's so sick. I had so much fun customizing this. It was just a blast. Yeah, I hope you guys appreciate it as well. I've been doing so much.
Yeah. My laptop, I think I'll enjoy better once I have Hyprland on it, but who knows? I might switch my desktop back to Hyprland once I have a nice config. And I will back up my config to my GitHub page so that I have a place to pull it down and utilize it. I do need to figure out how some of the people are automating the installs, though, with their Hyprland configs. So I'm going to keep digging around the one I did a git pull from and just dig through the files and see if I can figure out how they're doing it.
More. I built this camera as well. Like I mentioned earlier, you can communicate with Linux even without a graphical user interface, GUI. That made me so excited because I'm like, wait, that means I can use other computers at my disposal. For some reason, to me, that's just like really cool. And I wanted to try what I could do with it. I want to show this in another
file
video
server
because I feel like it's too much yapping. But my point is, I've been having so much fun. Just tinkering, messing around, feeling like a hacker. But I gotta be real as well. Linux is not perfect. There's a lot of issues. A good example is, again, my laptop. When I first installed...
There's a lot of issues, especially if you're running an NVIDIA card. Since I switched to AMD, I've had a lot less issues. And DaVinci Resolve still works, believe it or not, even if your AMD card does not support the ROCm drivers. There is a Mesa Rusty CL driver that will work to get DaVinci Resolve working. You just won't have GPU encoding for export, but my CPU is faster than GPU encoding anyways, so there's that.
Arch, none of my F keys worked. Actually, sorry, 3 out of 12 worked out of the box. So I had spent a long time bringing them back to life. For me, it was kind of fun. I was like...
That must be the media keys, because with my Dell, I couldn't get brightness controls on my F keys until I installed a specific program, which I believe is like brightness control or something for controlling it under Hyprland, and then they just worked because the config is already in the Hyprland default config.
It's like, oh, got another one working. Like, okay, let's move on to the next one. But I can imagine for a lot of people that just want things to work, you know, maybe this is not for you. And maybe it should work, you know? I think since Linux is not as popular on desktop as Windows or Mac, this is just the reality. There's just not enough support for it. On Linux, if something...
It would be nice if there was just a basic out-of-box config for Hyprland. That would be nice. But that's not the purpose of tiling window managers. Pretty much all of them are just bare bones and you have to configure it yourself. But it would be nice for people that want to check it out. I guess you could run a distribution that they have their own custom config out of the box. like Garuda. Looks like they have one now.
Something doesn't work, it's kind of up to you to fix it, and yeah, that's just how it is. I was trying to update my drivers for my GPU, and I got a black screen 6 times, and I had to do a hard restore every time. It's, you know, not the most fun thing in the world. There are other things I could rather be doing, which is why I need you.
I'm actually running the open source drivers on my laptop because it has an NVIDIA card, so I'm running the NVK driver, because it supports the GPU that's in my laptop now, and 0 issues.
You to install Linux, so the more people we can get together, the better Linux becomes. And I get it now. Like, that's why people were so excited about me using Linux, because Linux is not a product, it's a platform. And it also already exists everywhere. NASA, SpaceX, it runs on Linux. All the supercomputers, your TV, your smart fridge, your phone, if it's Android, it's all Linux, baby. I think it's just so cool, the fact that
everybody uses Linux, even though they don't know it.
In the 90s, just decided, hey, I can write a better kernel. Finnish naivety, typical Finnish behavior. They think they can do anything. But without that, you know, things would have been very different. At least there wouldn't be an alternative. And I
can't remember if Pew Die Pie is Finnish or if he's from Switzerland. I can't remember.
I just think it's so cool that people saw what it did, got excited, and wanted to join in. So please consider joining in. Now, if you're even just a little bit curious, I recommend trying Linux. Maybe try dual booting it if you're not sure. You can still keep your Windows or whatever. You're gonna kill it later. You might as well kill it now. Test it out, break it, get upset. On Linux, I feel alive at last, at long last. Thank you for watching. Let me just type out my goodbyes.
Ha! Oh jeez. Yeah, don't finish that command. Wipe out your whole system. Yeah, good video. I mean, we'll see if more Linux gets used after this person's video, because he is one of the he's up there in the top 10 of the largest YouTubers out there. I kind of wonder, though, if he's dual booting Windows on his computer. Something tells me he's not, since, like I said, I'm pretty sure he pays somebody to edit his videos. So, but, you know, so far I like what he's done. I went ahead and resubscribed to him, and when I haven't been subscribed to him in, geez, over a decade. Looking forward to seeing if he does any more Linux content, or does that video on that little camera that he made. Kind of interesting to see what he does, but he says he's not a tech guy. If you take the time to learn how to configure Hyprland from scratch, you're pretty much becoming a tech person at that point. You know, so, and I know this video is probably really high on the views. Just checked, it's at 4.8 million views. So I wonder if Linux Mint has been getting higher traffic since this video came out. But so far, I like his whole outlook on Linux, you know. And there is a lot of growth in Linux right now, especially here on YouTube. There's a couple of Linux content creators that are very close to hitting 1 million subscribers here on YouTube. And they are English-speaking channels that I have found. But, yeah. Let me know what you think of Felix running Linux. Do you think it's going to benefit the Linux community as a whole? Do you think it's good for the community? I mean, I personally believe it is. But let me know what you think in the comments. And look forward to some live streams coming. Once I get a live streaming LED light to fix this, the color thing that's going on here, you know. Get closer to the screen, the color is correct. But pretty good. You know, this camera's working out good for me. This is the first time I've used it for this, but Works really good. But I'll leave links below to PewDiePie's channel. And I'll probably just put in the description what I've used to do this video. So like, subscribe, comment below, share the video, and see you later.